Hello, Legacy fans. We are here tonight with the Season 8 opening draft. I'm joined here with Lividexplode. I am Reunited Fox 420, and we're just here to go over the draft for tonight. I'll let Livid
That is.
go ahead.
Alright, so as it currently stands, we are round one, getting set to go for our first overall pick. And the first overall pick is to the New Jersey Devils, and they made a great first pick with Simpson. Fox, your thoughts?
Simpson's a good player. I'm going to actually pull up the actual draft because my screen's not loading. But, yeah. Augie Bella there, Simpson. He's been around the league for a little bit. He's a nice right wing center combination for an already set up their forward group for them.
Now, moving on forward, the next pick goes to Maud Martin's Chicago Blackhawks.
I'm kind of not going to lie there, Liv. This one hurt a little bit. I was looking at Senior Potato. He led the World Cup there, second place. Boost Smoke being the only other player to have more points in the round robin than him. He's a great two-way forward. He plays D. He's known for scoring. He has a lot of fun. He's a really good guy to be around in the locker room. They'll really enjoy him over in Chicago.
And speaking of Boost Smoke, he made himself known for this year's draft, being the assistant general manager to the San Jose Sharks general manager, Nomad.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a formidable duo. There's Team USA all over again from the World Cup, and they went on to go face for the bronze medal tomorrow night.
It should be a fun matchup. And the third pick, going over to Biggie and Danikis's, the Montreal Canadiens.
Really not a shocker there with Bob going there. He played great last season in the playoffs when we played against him in New York. I really can't say too much more great about him. He's really a solid two-way forward. Goes up the ice really well. He's got a lot of speed usually on most of his builds. I think they'll really like him there in Montreal.
I have to agree with you there. I mean, playing against him when I was GM of Calgary, he really put our skills to the test, especially the team of New York. But let's not dilly-dally on that pick. The next pick is our very own Johnny Gameboy and Dieter's Seattle Kraken.
Again, I think they made a really solid selection in their first round with Dobbsy. He's a great right winger. He sees his ice very well. I hated playing goalie against him last season, especially in the finals whenever they'd had time to put him in there.
Who doesn't and who doesn't like playing against Dobbsy in net? I gotta be honest, he was a pain in the rear end too. But to add on, Dobbsy could go big this year. I got a slight prediction here for you, Fox. I'm gonna say he's gonna have upwards of 20 goals this season.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a shortened season, but I definitely agree. He's got all the talent in the world to put it together. I wouldn't be surprised to even get 30, actually, if I'm being completely honest.
And speaking of which, Toronto, with a newly appointed AGM, Frenchie, our loyal and nice moderator, joining forces with Monkey Butt, their first choice in the first round was Muscle Wizard.
Well, for Muscle Wizard, he's been around the league for quite a while. He's known to be extremely dedicated. I know he's rushed home from work more than a few times just to make the games.
You gotta love the dedication. And Fox, you could take this one. Your Florida Panthers.
I'm actually really surprised that he slipped that far. I consider him a giant steal for us at 6 there. I could not be happier to pick Simple Seasons this season again. I had him in the World
Alec,
Cup, and I just can't say enough good things about him. He's a great guy in the locker room. He's a great leader on the ice, off the ice. He just takes control and does what he needs to do.
I'm gonna be honest. This Alec is one of the better forwards of the Legacy League. No, 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 no patronization there. But other than that, you guys made a good pick there.
Well, thank you there, Livid.
And look at this. So last season, MJ was a general manager at Atlanta Thrashers. This year, he stepped it back a little bit. He's the assistant general manager to Jags Wyatt's Pittsburgh Penguins. And a little confusion making their first pick.
Yeah, it was a little confusing during the draft as well there, Livid. Even Jesse there was a little shocked that he went that high. I'm glad he went that high. He's a good player. He's a good guy. He's always all around there. He's got great availability. They'll have no problem having Jesse on their team.
The only reason I bring up the fact that it was confusing was because at first they tried to draft Odd Man Out. And Odd Man Out was not registered this year.
Yeah, there's a whole thing going on with him. He's a little busy. It's completely understandable, though. He's got a lot of work on his plate, so he's taking time back to deal with his schooling and all that fun stuff.
Our thoughts are with Jeff and all the other players that might be going through this.
Next up, we had the San Jose Sharks with Boost selecting Happy Gilmore. Do you have anything to say on Happy?
Happy Gilmore, man, he was a great player. I gotta be honest with you. If they can do something right with if the San Jose Sharks can do something right with Happy Gilmore, they should go a long way this year.
I agree. They had the top scorer. They have the top scorer in the World Cup as of right now with Boost Smoke. Gilmore, I know, is a great D, playing him in the finals with Philly and Toronto last season. It should be an interesting pick there.
And the way we the way we do our drafts here in the Legacy League is snake pick. So I have the privilege of saying the next pick was also the San Jose Sharks. Adhesive Rug was the next pick there.
I got nothing good things to say about Adhesive Rug. He was with us during the Stanley Cup run last season, Season 8 with Philly. He played a pivotal role, especially in that first round against the New York Rangers. They get a really solid pick there, second overall for them.
I do have to clarify, Fox. We are going into Season 8. It would have been Season 7 last season.
Oh, yes, my bad.
It's all right. But Pittsburgh, moving on in the second pick of round 2, they take Toothless.
Yeah, I think that's another good pick. I'll be surprised if he actually plays his preferred positions this season. He's listed as a center left wing, but he's been known around the league as a left defenseman as long as I can remember anyways. But he has shown signs that he's quite gifted offensively, and we'll see what he makes do with it.
Toothless is one of those guys that's known for his grit. He really gets around with the puck, gets it out of the zone. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to see how much he puts up this year. But moving on. Fox, you guys took Syracuse in the second round. How about that?
Again, same sort of idea. Had great chemistry. I felt like, or at least I feel like I can build with him. As this season I'm playing out of net. I'm looking forward to playing with Cirque, whether it's as center or right D. I've seen him play both. He's an extremely talented and elite defenseman. His center position is just as vital as his defense. And, really looking forward to playing with him this year.
I mean, I couldn't agree more, but it's going to be a difficult ride going through this. But moving forward, Toronto, their second round pick had to be Rockstar.
Well, Rockstar's not known around the league too much. He did play a little bit with Sweden there during this past World Cup. He's overall a really solid offensive threat, especially whenever he has the puck. He likes to shoot for rebounds. So we'll see what he does with that with this Toronto team. But yeah, they've got a really solid pick there at second. Their second overall.
And Seattle had to take a little bit of time with their second pick, but overall, I do have to say it was a solid pick with Jiggy with it.
Oh yeah, like I say, I couldn't agree more. It's another great pick. A lot of this draft, Livid, is a great draft. It went down without a hitch. I don't think any team is abnormally better than any other one, so it should be an interesting season. I really do like the pick of Jiggy with it, though. He, again, is another really offensive threat. He likes to deke around players. He's really good at getting those moves off in tight quarters. So we'll see how he does with the new team.
At this rate this season, if he doesn't have at least one goal that's a Michigan, I'm going to be impressed.
Start having to call him, what's his name there in Anaheim?
Give him the Trevor Zegras.
Yeah, the Trevor Zegras treatment.
Yeah. But anyway, moving on. QC NHL. Oh, one of the veterans in our league, taken by Montreal this year.
I'm actually a little surprised he's playing out of the net, same as me this season. I've kind of always known him as a goalie. So I can't really speak too much on his offensive awareness, but it should be an interesting season for him, see what he can put up.
Although, to be fair, we have two goalies talking about this season's draft. So, anyway, moving on. Sandfight, taken in as Chicago's second overall. Now, Sandfight, I gotta admit, it is a solid forward.
Well, then take her away. You know more than I do.
Sandfight, I had the privilege of playing with in Season 6 with Lorenzo's New Jersey Devils. Unfortunately, I did end up getting traded to the Los Angeles Kings, and we won the AHL trophy that year. But Sandfight is known for moving around and getting himself open for a one-timer. So it's going to be difficult to see, but we'll see what he does this year.
Definitely excited to see how it goes for them. Up next with the New Jersey Devils, with no shock to anybody, they claim SWAT Z.
Now, is this really not a shock? SWAT Z and Iris Zeta, they basically bounce off each other left, right, and center. Or if Jesse wasn't on that team, this team would be stacked. Unfortunately, Jesse was taken by Pittsburgh, but it's going to be difficult to see what Iris Zeta does down the line.
Yeah, it's not the World Cup. There's always trades available.
And that is it for round 2. Round 3, the Devils had the first pick of round 3. Went with no excuse. It was a full left side player.
Yeah, I think he'll fill out this lineup really well. He's got great vision for the net. He likes to grind to it. He plays big. He's always got a nose for the net. You'll never find him not around there. He gets goals that you don't really know how he gets, but they go in the net, so you don't complain. Just an overall great player. Be interesting to see him play on lefty. It'd be a while. I think since last time I seen him was in Washington in Season 6.
Well, that one I can agree with perfectly. Up next, though, Chicago taking Terrier. Now that is a solid goaltender. If I have to say something about it.
And it's the first goalie taken off the list tonight.
Which surprises me because I'm used to seeing Jesse Jen being in a net. But moving on, Nolan M taken by Montreal in the third round. A solid right D-man, and I gotta admit, I haven't seen a D-man that good since Nut Fungus in Season 6 and 7.
I couldn't agree more. But I only really played him a few times there in the finals, and excuse me. Without Boost Smoke and Hot Coffee going off, it definitely would have been a lot longer series than the 4 that we swept them in.
That one I can't agree more with. But round 3, Seattle taking Cancer. I don't know how they play. Hopefully you have an answer for me.
I honestly don't. I think he's only ever, as far as I know, to my knowledge, has played in the World Cup, and he played for USA. Um, I haven't watched too many of their games. I don't know how he played during the round robin when we played them. I don't think he played that night. So this is kind of an interesting pick by the Seattle Kraken and Dieter and them. We'll see how it goes for him. Hopefully it works out well.
And moving forward, a solid defenseman taken by Toronto in the third round, Toto the Rabbit. Now, I've had the privilege of playing with this guy in Season 6 with the Devils, which, then again, I do have to say, I won the cup. I'm gonna keep rubbing that in your face, Fox. So,
I'll rub my season 7 in yours. So
hey, at least both of us have a cup. Although I have the Calder, you have the Stanley, so you're a little bit more superior.
woo. Yeah, no, I like you say, I couldn't agree more. I love the pick of Toto. It may be a little early. They probably could have waited a little longer, but I definitely don't hate him at fourth or third. Sorry.
The one thing I will say is Florida, you guys did not overshoot with Goertzenator or in the third round. That is another solid defenseman. It's going to be tough to see who gets Defensive Player of the Year between Toto and Goertzenator.
Yeah, another pick me and Kodak are really, really excited for. I've only had the privilege of playing against Goatsy. I've never really played with him, so I'm really looking forward to this season, see how we stack up and mesh up together.
And I keep drawing back to Lorenzo. And Lorenzo, I've never seen him go this high before. Lorenzo taken round 3 by Pittsburgh.
Well, as you kind of see, Pittsburgh didn't really take too many goalies, so it should be an interesting see how they do this season. They got MJ as a goalie, Lorenzo, and Shadow.
Which we'll draw back to later.
Yeah.
Or,
which is quite a later pick on their part. So it should be fun. It should be interesting to see how their goalie situation goes.
I agree.
I think if there's any situation that they have an issue with, it would be the goalie spot, especially since Jesse's not playing.
I agree. Hey, Fox, I think we should undo that last comment because San Jose in the third round picked Undo.
I hate playing against Undo. He's so strong defensively and he's so good at hitting. He's impossible to get around. He's like a brick wall out there, especially when he's playing in his top end D.
And I'm surprised you didn't yell at me for making a pun about Undo's name.
We'll let that one slide for now.
Now, in the fourth round, I'm not sure how you pronounce this guy's name. I think it's like Lairdon? Laidron?
I think so, Laidron, yeah.
Alright, so Laidron, I have no idea who this guy is.
I can honestly attest to that as well. I'm hoping Boost knows what he was doing with this pick, but I honestly don't know much about this guy.
So moving on, Demons, taken by Pittsburgh in the fourth round. Now, Demons is a hothead. There's no questioning it. I've had the privilege of playing with him in other leagues. Guy's a hothead.
I can comment on Demons. He has calmed down quite a bit, or at least during the Sweden games. He's actually a lot of fun to play with during the World Cup. He's a really strong, pretty much all-around player. He's great with the puck, without the puck. You can play D, you can play forward, you can kind of fill in any spot you need. Even an emergency goalie, he says. I haven't tested it out, so we don't know how that goes, but...
It seems like you...
Yeah, no, I really like that pick for Pittsburgh for Demons.
And I'm going to draw attention to this. It seems like you got some cats going on there in the background. Yeah. There you go. Moving on. Freakstar. You guys took a goalie fourth round.
We did. We figured it was time. We had our strong D-core set up already. We got I feel like a strong wing set up offensively with Simple as our center or Cirque as our center. So I figured it was time. By that time, everyone else is starting to steal some goalies, so we figured we had to get the best one available.
And you guys, I couldn't agree more. Freakstar is one of arguably the best goalies. Had probably a good rookie season, and last season in the Legacy League.
He really did not carried, but he definitely got Atlanta to the second round where we kind of had our fun with him with boost.
All right, that's enough. Anyway, moving on. Chiefer taken to the 4th round. Ex-Chief. I've had the privilege of playing with this guy. He's that threw me off. I thought you said something about who?
No, we're still talking about Chief.
Okay, yeah. I'm listening to the video behind me. That's why.
Oh, with Johnny's voice in the background.
Your voice, Johnny's voice, Dieter's voice. Ah. Anyway, yeah, Chief, a great solid forward. His availability last season for me was like kind of iffy, but when we needed him most, he was there.
Yeah, he's always reliable. There's nothing wrong with Chief. He's a solid center, especially with the way he plays with the hybrid controls. It makes him playing center almost unstoppable as a center at face-offs.
It's going to be tough to see next season how he plays without the hybrid controls. But we're talking...
They did come back.
I forgot they did come back. I'm so used to playing with total control anyway. But moving on, we're talking NHL 24. We're talking NHL 23 this season. So, moving on, Levi. I was taken by Seattle in the 4th. I
don't really have much to talk about Levi. I've only played with him a couple times for a couple scouting games over the last couple days.
And we're not going to talk about that one scouting game I accidentally fell asleep in.
No, we won't mention that one.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my sleep schedule has been screwed. Anyway, moving on. Attributes for not Pittsburgh. Montreal. God, I can't speak.
I'm actually really surprised he signed up as a wing this season. I remember New York last year they had a deadly defense with him playing lefty.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to go wing this year. His defense knows no bounds, but he's also listed as a goaltender this season, so it's going to be a sight to see what he does in the pipes.
He does have some playing time behind the net there last year with New York as well, so he does have some experience. He's building on that.
So, moving on in the 4th round. Now, this is a pick I can get behind. P. Kane. A solid...
You take her away.
A solid right winger. Makes his moves when needed. And it's going to be a difficult season for him to probably get its stuff passed with all the solid goaltenders we have, myself and Fox included. But, yeah. Any comments on P. Kane there, Fox?
I don't actually know him. As far as I know, he just joined the server. He seems like everyone talks really highly of him, though. So it should be an interesting season to see how he does.
Hey, Fox, pull the glitter out of your butt, because it's full glitter for the 4th round. For New Jersey. Now, I don't know much about this guy, but he's a winger. So...
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I really hope he works out for New Jersey, but I don't know that much about him either myself.
And I just slid away with another pun. But anyway, that's the 4th round. 5th round. Here we go. 5th round. Yar 777 starts off the 5th round for New Jersey. And I don't know these guys. This guy.
Yeah, I know he's played a lot of games. I know he played a lot of games last season for New Jersey, but seeing as I didn't get to watch a lot of their games, I'm not 100% sure exactly what he's all about. I feel like whenever I seen him, he was always playing D. So it should be an interesting season. Interesting season to see how he does at wing.
I will I will say this: he is going to be one of the sights to watch this season. Uh, Moving on, hexagonal soup. Now, this guy, I'm assuming, is a rookie. I've never seen him play a single game from season 6 or last season. Do you have anything on him?
I've only played one game against him myself. We played when we played USA. He's a really solid defenseman. He knows how to break it out of his own zone really, really quickly. He doesn't panic whenever he has the puck on his stick. So I think he'll have a really strong season for Chicago there.
And I agree there. Montreal taking Shadow Wolf in the 5th round. Now, that's a pick that kind of surprised me.
I'm a little excited for Shadow. I just know his availability is not always the best. But then again, life always happens and comes first, as you know. So I hope for the best for him and see what he can do this season.
Reason why I said the pick surprised me. Moving on, everybody's favorite mountain is here. 5th pick for Seattle.
This one was kind of surprising to me a little bit, but it should be exciting to see him play. I don't remember the last time he actually played a league game. I know he plays a lot of draft lobbies with them guys, so they definitely know what he's all about. But it should be fun.
I do agree there. Hanrahan, and now I got to know Hanrahan for a little bit. I got to play a game with him and Frenchie. He's a okay defenseman, and it's gonna be difficult to see what he does for Toronto this season.
Thank you very much. Now back on to my Florida Panthers there. We went ahead and selected Rick D. I know you know quite a bit about him as well as me playing with him in Washington 2 seasons ago, but I'll let you go first.
Now, Rick D, I can't say much because he's the bane of my existence when we play goalie.
Well, then that just goes to show how good he is, then, huh?
Yeah, solid wing. Dang. He loves that short side, like every winger does. But other than that, I want to see probably like a 15-20 goal season out of him within the stretch that we have.
He's had quite a down drought the last couple of years, so hopefully we can get him back up into that at least double-digit goal column and get him some points this season.
Yep. I agree there. Philanthrope taken by Pittsburgh in the 5th round.
This is actually one that hurt me personally. We were looking at Phil there quite extensively. Just didn't pull the trigger in time. So I'm really glad that Pittsburgh got him. Hope he does well.
Oh, relax. You could probably trade for him later. But moving on, San Jose taking Schrute. Now that is a primary goalie. It's gonna be difficult to see with how many primary goalies this team has on their. This team has. Right as we're talking about it right now, the 2 primary goalies they have right now are the general manager Nomad and Schrute. That's a later pick. That's why I didn't say anything.
And Canadian Link Inc. is one as well.
Well, right. I'm an idiot. And speaking of which, I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna save mine for last. That's because, hell, I was the last round pick. But anyway.
Up next, we got my personal buddy and longtime friend, ZZ One Piece fan.
I don't know much about this guy, but
I'm really looking forward to him actually getting a chance in the league this season. He got unlucky a little bit with the Ottawa situation he found himself in. Same with Rick D and all of them after the Shore situation. So I'm really excited for him to get a chance to get some playing time, and he's on a really good team. So hopefully he makes the best of it.
For added reference, guys, we will not be talking about the situation that transpired. We are trying to move forward with that. But moving on, toe pick.
This is another one I'm not 100% sure about. I feel like I played with him, but it isn't enough to warrant any commentary. If you have anything on him, go ahead.
Negatory. I got nothing.
All right, then we'll move on to the second Fox sitting on Florida Panthers.
What is that, your baby brother?
You wish. No, I believe we did it on Thursday, yes.
But the game that I got to see him play in which was the tryout game on, what was it, Thursday? So, he needs some work with goaltender. But other than that, it's going to be a fun season for the rookie.
Yeah, we're really excited for what he has to bring. I personally think he did all right. We just didn't give him the greatest defense that night. He had me on defense and Dingo. So we did what we could, but especially me there. I know what I'm doing, but not nearly well enough to think about playing a league game in that spot.
Yeah, you're better off sticking between the pipes.
Funnily enough, I'm not.
Octo Daddy, taken in the 6th round by Toronto.
I consider this a pretty big steal there at the bottom of the list there for Toronto. They got a really good defenseman out of that deal. He's good at clearing the puck. He doesn't panic under pressure. And he's really known to monkey butt. They're good buddies with them and Jesse and all them.
He's also a goaltender from what it looks like here. But it's going to be... He's probably going to more so primary being a defenseman this season.
Yeah, I'd say so. With Monkey and Frenchie, you got your goalies combo set up there. That's your tandem, I'd say.
Yep. And more so, next pick, speaking of goalies, 1x83.
I've only ever had the privilege of playing with him once. He did fairly well that game. It was a little while ago. It was a couple tryout games we played like a week or two ago, if not longer. Might have even been before the World Cup, but he's a solid goalie. Should be exciting to see how his rookie season unfolds.
I will take your word for it. Next up is Oisello. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing.
Oisello?
Oisello?
Or
Oisello?
something like that, yeah. Oh, it's something like that. It's not a real word.
It seems French to me.
It's French, and I think Biggie, when he was making the pick, said it wasn't even a word.
Which is kind of weird. But a right wing and a center is exactly what they need this season.
Yeah, I really like that pick from their standpoint, too. He's been around the league for quite a while, so he's definitely known. And, yeah, I'm really looking forward to what he can do for the Montreal Canadiens.
And very much so this next guy, Western NY, taken by Chicago in the 6th.
Now to me, here's another rookie goalie. The scouting reports are all good, but we'll see how he does with the pressure and the limelights on him when he actually gets his first game. Look forward to it.
Takes me back to my rookie days. Moving on, we have Mitch Marner. No, not the Toronto Mitch Marner. This guy is actually from Sydney, Nova Scotia. I know him personally.
Yeah, he's quite close to me, actually. He's part of the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles fans over there.
I hate those guys. Go Moose.
And, yeah, but it should be really exciting for him.
He's known for
nice to see him in a New Jersey Devils jersey.
He's known for his spinorama, so we're gonna have to be careful of that this season. But
next.
But moving on in round 7, Mr. Bojangles. Now, me personally, this is a steal.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree anymore if I tried.
Yeah, don't. Don't try to argue with me. You know I'm right. I
If there was ever any only critique I could ever give Mr. Bojangles is his internet.
yeah,
But
valid.
besides from that, solid pick.
And I gotta be honest. Here's another steal. One broom taken by Chicago.
Yeah, this could be interesting to see how it plays out. I know him personally from playing with Sweden last World Cup, and
Hey, I was the GM of Sweden.
I took Sweden over this year after you. Tried to bring in the medal after. It didn't work out, but we gave her a good run.
Yeah,
Canadian Ink absolutely stood on his head and forced us into a game 3 that we did not want to play against Hungary.
which is
That
what
was Bucky's team,
we
or
almost
Buki.
we did that last season in the Legacy Cup, but luckily we were able to take home the bronze. But anyway, moving on. Elite Ope, taken by Montreal.
This one to me was a little bit of a shock. I had heard before the draft that he was only considering being a sub. So I hope for all the best and he has the availability for Montreal, but to my knowledge he was a sub, so hopefully, like I say, it works out for him.
I do agree. But Shadow Raptor for Seattle.
Yeah, they kind of needed another right wing. They don't have very many there, so I think this is a pretty good pick for where they had. I don't know too much about him as a player personally, but I definitely like the pick position-wise.
I couldn't agree more. Doc Lewis though, taken by Toronto. Now, if I didn't say my regards about a solid defenseman already in this, it's got to go all the way to Doc Lewis. Doc Lewis knew his way around the ice last season.
Yeah, he's a very good puck-moving defenseman.
And to your Florida Panthers, Editor Rain.
I wish I had my AGM here. This is all him. He really likes Editor Rain. I've never played with him. I've only ever seen his stats when I'm doing the stats. But nothing there screams out to me that anything I would complain about. So I'm really happy with the pick we got there.
And this makes me question what this guy's name really means. Does it mean Donkey Kong in a box? Does it mean...
Just stick with that for YouTube purposes.
Yeah, we're going with Donkey Kong in a box for Pittsburgh. Or 7th round.
I don't know too much about this guy, but I really hope he has a good season. It looks like if it does work out, it looks like an absolute steal, especially for Pittsburgh there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do.
Now, for San Jose, Canadian Ink, taken in the 7th round. We previously talked about him. However, there's still one person. I'm sorry to Canadian Ink, but we're skipping over you. Round 8, ya boy Lividexplode was taken by San Jose.
So first off, let me ask, how does it feel to be taken by San Jose?
To be honest, it was deeper than I thought. Being taken 8th round just makes me seem like Mr. Irrelevant. But I'm excited to do what I get to do this season. I'm with Boost Smoke and Nomad. I should have a solid D chord behind me with Happy Gilmore and Undo. Oh, should be a good night or good season for me. And I'm sorry. We skipped past Canadian Ink. I gotta go back to Canadian Ink. Another solid goaltender. We pretty much are stacked in terms of goaltenders for San Jose this season.
Yeah, you guys should definitely be able to keep the puck out of the net, no problem.
Bless you, by the way.
Thank you.
XLR8 Shadow was taken in the 8th round, the final pick for Pittsburgh.
I really, really like this pick. I've seen Shadow since season 6, sorry. He's an absolutely solid goalie. and just as solid winger. The only hit against him is his availability and his activeness on Discord, so I can see why he went so late. But he honestly should have gone a lot earlier than this, just based on pure skill.
I do agree there. Moving forward, Angry Voorhees. Was this your pick or was this Kodak's?
This is a combo. A lot of our picks we talked about it a lot during the draft. That's partially why, other than me doing the draft board, it was quite quick when we got up to the stage. But yeah, we're really excited to have Angry Voorhees. We know he likes to hit a lot, so that should bring some element to our game that I don't think a lot of our other players on the team bring. And just should make us really tough to play against on that back end.
I couldn't agree more. ADJ Demers. It was the final pick for Toronto. Now, I don't know about this guy. Maybe you do.
I do a little bit, yeah.
It's going to be a sight to see what he does.
The one thing I really like about ADG Demers is
You're not the only one yawning, by the way.
he's really vocal. He likes to get involved. He likes to call out his plays. And it's not in the way that it's too much. It's just enough that you know what he wants planned. He's got really strong communication skills, so it should be really fun to see how it translates on the ice with the rest of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Moving forward, Seattle picking up a solid D-man in Dingo for life.
Now, I had the privilege to play with Dingo in this past World Cup again for Sweden. He's a solid overall defenseman, extremely reliable. You can always count on him to be back there covering the center of the ice, so he should do well for Seattle. Him and Dieter could make a great pair alongside if Johnny doesn't have a game that night.
We'll definitely have to see what Dingo does this season. You notice taken by Montreal. God.
Yeah, I know. This has been around the league for a while, but in terms of actual playing style, I don't think I've ever actually played against him. I feel like he's always not playing the nights we play whoever he's playing for that season. But definitely doing stats. He definitely puts up his share of points, so it should be fun. Montreal's going to be a deadly team too this season.
It's going to be a sight to see what Chicago will become with Animal taking it as their final pick.
I believe Animal's another one who plays like a really big forward there, so that should help them. They like to play with it. Seems like a lot of the other players kind of play tiny, so we should give them the room and space that they all need to make their moves happen.
And for the final time tonight, I got away with another pun. But the final pick went to New Jersey, taking Fractix YT.
I can't figure out why this guy went so low in the draft, but he's an absolute steal for New Jersey on that wing side, either side he plays.
Mr. Irrelevant just turned into a steal.
Yeah, I'm assuming it must have been everybody figured they had their wing spots covered. It's the only reason I could think of him dropping that far, because that's a great 8th round pick by the New Jersey Devils.
I do have to agree there. And with that, the 2023 Season 8 Legacy League draft has been completed. Any closing thoughts, Fox?
Who do you like out of this season? Let's see what you think.
If I say myself, I'm going to be biased.
No, by all means, if you think San Jose's got the team, go for it.
I mean, San Jose, we have our work cut out for us. We have a couple of rookie players. but if I had to choose one that would go all the way, I would love to see the Stanley Cup final this year be my San Jose Sharks taking on your Florida Panthers.
Yeah, I don't know. This season's probably one of the better drafts I've seen of the 3 seasons I've been in Legacy. But let's see here. Who do I think? I think New Jersey's going to surprise some people.
I was about to say, cue the Jeopardy music.
I really like that first overall pick for Chicago, giving Potato finally his respect that he deserves. Because the last couple seasons, he's gone like 5th, 6th, 7th round sometimes.
I will agree there. Potato is going to be a sight to see this season. But it's going to be difficult to see how the rest of the field plays out.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun and exciting season with the new setup with the game caps. We'll see how every GM does with managing lines and chemistry and how all that works out for them.
And with that, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this season's, I should say, Legacy League draft for Season 8. I have been Lividexplode. You guys will hear more of me throughout the weeks with the commentary for some games. And beside me has always been in Reunited Fox 420. We will see you guys on the ice for the start of Season 8.
And one quick closing thought from Fox here, me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, follow the channel, hit the bell notifications if you want to. We have a couple projects planned for this season that we're really excited to bring to you. One of them being what Livid just expressed with the commentary for games. We do have another show planned. I'm not going to spoil it yet too much, but be on the lookout for that. It should be super exciting. One last ending thought. You said your cup final, I'll say mine. I'm honestly going to go with, I think, I can see it coming down to Montreal and Florida.
Of course you would pick your own team, you biased mother.
What can I say? I really like my team. I think we did a pretty good
I did have to stop myself because YouTube is going to demonetize us if I do say that word.
I can always edit it out. Bleep. I don't want to spend that much time editing it, but... Alright, and with that, guys, we are out. We look forward to seeing you on the ice in Season 8. Good luck to all the GMs, all the teams. Once again, it was New Jersey, Chicago, Montreal, Seattle, Toronto, Florida, Pittsburgh, and San Jose. The live draft is now complete. Preseason starts on Tuesday,
Halloween,
the 31st of October. We have one more preseason game on the 2nd of October. Regular season starting up next Sunday on the 5th of November.
2nd of November.
2nd of November, my bad. And, lace up your virtual skates, and we look forward to seeing you on the ice.
Subscribe!